Happy Saturday! What is up, Swishers? How y'all doing? How's your mama doing? How's your kids doing? Just kidding, okay? I just wanted to get into this WNBA Daily Swish update and give you guys where the standings are, who's where, injury updates, and even game updates as well, okay? So I just kind of wanted to discuss in this one mostly the standings and how these lower teams that we saw in the beginning were way at the bottom and now they're climbing their way up to the top, okay? And then also I kind of want to discuss the fact that these games have been back to back to back to back, and we've seen a couple injuries along the way, and wondering if these back-to-back playing in the wobble every single night almost, it seems like, or every other night has kind of been maybe possibly been taking a toll on some of these athletes and causing more injuries than what we're used to seeing, okay? So I just kind of wanted to discuss that today and just kind of to see, you know, what are the predictions going into the playoffs, because we're almost there. And the playoffs are just going to be the same as they have been before, okay? You go into the playoffs and single elimination. Once you lose, you're done, and you move on, right? And so that's what they're kind of hoping for, you know, the playoff format for this year. And then once you get to the championship, I think it's like 5 or 8 games that they play, and then that determines who the champion is, okay? So let's go ahead and look at these standings that I have right here next to us, and we could see our dominating teams so far. We have number 1, Seattle Storm, okay? Number 2, Las Vegas Aces, which they have been doing tremendous lately. They've been dominating on the court, and I think they've won like 6 games in a row, 7 games in a row. So they've really been having a lucky draw lately, and especially for Asia Wilson, who has been stepping it up, and then also Jackie Young. She's kind of been sneaking in there a little bit, and you got to remember, the Aces don't have their strong center, Cam Page, and they also don't have Kelsey Plum. So imagine how much more dominating this team would be if they had those two out on the floor. And what's interesting to me is lately these players have been stepping it up for the Las Vegas Aces. And so, and Jackie Young, you know, she's kind of been making a name for herself too. And I don't know if you noticed, she's kind of been sneaking in there. She's been more aggressive lately. And that's because their coach, Bill Lambier, has been kind of pushing her a little bit more. She kind of asked him one day, says, hey, why can't I be part of the starting 5? And he says, well, I need you to be more aggressive. And she's been tremendous at doing that lately. She's driving the ball in more. She's trying to collect more assists as she goes along. And then Asia Wilson, I mean, she's just been scoring in the double digits lately, and she's really been shining for the Las Vegas Aces. Okay, then you have number 3, Los Angeles Sparks. You have Candace Parker, who's been amazing, being that leader, that role model for her team lately. And you know, that's what Candace Parker is known to do. She's known to step up when she needs to step up, but also letting those young players take a dive in when it's necessary, and let them have that chance as well. And then you have Nneka Gumake, who has been tremendous in playing her defense and her offense. She's been scoring a lot more lately, and she's really been stepping it in strong. Minnesota Lynx is at number 4, and you have Nafisa Collier, who is really making a name for herself this year too. She's not afraid to go in, make that extra few miles to make that point, okay? And she has been phenomenal. And then, but you also got to remember, Sylvia Fowles had come back for a couple games, and then now you have Odyssey Sims, who is back. And one of those things about Odyssey Sims is that, you know, she just had a baby a couple months ago, and so she's playing a couple minutes here and there. And so even with that, you know, it's like, wow, she is a truly amazing player for coming back after a couple months of giving birth. You know, that just goes to show how much these ladies love the game, and they want to be there. They want to help their team. They want to play. They're motivated. They're determined. Their dedication is just amazing. Okay. And for Sylvia Fowles, though, last game she kind of re-injured that calf injury that she had. So hopefully we can see her come back sometime soon. Okay. And then you have the Chicago Sky. Okay. You have Quigley and Vandersloot. I mean, they have been amazing working together. And then you have Dawson as well for the Chicago Sky. But I think she's still kind of sitting it out. We'll see how it goes for Stephanie Dawson. Truly amazing player. Then you have the Phoenix Mercury, number 6. And they've been playing without Diana Taurasi. She's kind of had this injury, and it has nothing to do with her back, so thank goodness for that. And hopefully she'll heal out well. But you have Brittany Griner and you have Skylar Diggins-Smith that are just unstoppable on that team. And they are truly a working force when you put those two together. Then you have the Indiana Fever, number 7. Okay. Now, Connecticut Sun have slowly been making their way. They are not number 8 right now. They kind of been getting a couple more wins lately. And because their record was not that great in the beginning of the season. They just weren't winning for anything. And I think Dewana Bonner's found a way to keep her girls winning and stepping up. And, they're just, maybe they found that chemistry, that teamwork. Okay. This is a surprise a little bit for me, the Washington Mystics, because not only just a couple weeks ago, they were right there with the Seattle Storm, number 2. Okay. But you also got to remember they don't have Elena Del Don, and they're working with what they have. And it seems to me like now they're in a slouch. And it's like, they need to find that groove again. They need to maybe watch some film, maybe find some more drills to work as a team, something to get that motivation back that they had in the beginning of the season. Because they, like I said, it was Seattle Storm and the Washington Mystics that were up there at the top. Now it's just Seattle Storm that's hanging on, and everybody's chasing after Seattle, and which is no surprise to me because you have Breanna Stewart, you have Sue Bird. You have a couple other players that have made the Seattle Storm a very, very strong, dominating team, and they are not to be messed with because they only lost 1 game this season. So, with that being said, I'm surprised that the Washington Mystics fell all the way down to number 9. So maybe Aerial Powers can find a way to get their groove back. I don't know. But they need to find it soon if they want to get back into that playoff spot. Because remember, they only take the top 8 teams to the playoffs, and we're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. So, number 10, you have the Dallas Wings. And, they're kind of in a struggle here and there. You have Agumbawali, who's been making a majority of the moves on that team, but you also have Samuelson. And it's a very, very young team, and being number 10 is not bad. There's still a work in progress, and they're still trying to figure out and develop that chemistry because, like I said, they are a young team. And they are working to get back into that championship spot. And Agumbawali, she is amazing on the floor, and she can cross you up, she can hit those outside shots, she could drive the ball in, and once she gets going, there's no stopping Arike Agumbawali. She's the Black Mamba for a reason because she can come up and sneak out of nowhere and throw that open shot at the last minute and get everybody going and riled up. Okay. Number 11 is the Atlanta Dream. They've been struggling for quite a while, even last year in the 2019 season. And, to me, I think this is a young team too. And they need to just sit down and say, okay, this is what we need to do. This is, maybe we need to look at some film. Maybe we need to look at some other players. Maybe we need to grab some players from the outside and, bring them in here to help us out. Okay. And a lot of teams do that. They look at players from overseas that maybe they can help them out and, bring them into the top team spots. So, and then last you have the New York Liberty. Okay. I kind of feel for them because they were doing really well in the beginning, but then once Sabrina Ionescu kind of injured herself, they kind of just fell off a little bit. And I'm not trying to make an excuse for them saying that, oh, they can't play because they don't have Sabrina Ionescu anymore. That was the reason why the New York Liberty. No, I'm not going to make excuses for them. What I am going to say is, they probably need to pick their head up just a little bit, get out of this slouch that they're at. And they were doing good last week. They had a couple wins last week, and I was real proud of them because I felt like they heard me say, like, oh, maybe we do need to step it up. But it doesn't seem, it just doesn't seem that way, and, they need to, they got to figure it out. So, those are your standings for right now. Okay, so like I said, the teams that are in the top 8 are the ones that make it to the playoffs. Okay, so I'm going to kind of switch it over to discussing about are these games that are back-to-back, too much for the players, right? And so you'll look at the schedule and you can kind of see that all these games, look, you have August 14th games, August 15th games, you have August 16th games, August 18th. There's no break in between because you'll have these set of teams that play one night, then another set of teams that play this night, and then you have another set of teams that play this night, and then it's like they just go back and forth. So, in my honest opinion, I feel like you could cause more injuries that way. It's almost like playing AAU basketball back in the day with these outside school league teams and, competing every day almost on a daily basis. So I want your honest opinion, and you don't have to agree with me. Okay, you can agree to disagree. I mean, it's great that we have all these WNBA games, but do you feel that some of these players need that break? Instead of a one-day break, maybe they need 2 days of a break to rest, recover, recuperate, bring themselves back into the game and get motivated. Do you feel like maybe that's the cause for some of the rankings being the way they are? So comment below if you agree with me that these games are too much, or if you think that this is great, they need to play more, they need that exposure. I mean, it's great that it's televised, every single night on ESPN, Fox Sports Southwest, CBS Sports, ABC. I mean, that is tremendous because we're getting more exposure. But is it too much playing almost every single night for these WNBA players? Okay? All right, comment below your opinions. If you agree, disagree, kind of in the middle. Okay? That's all I have for you Swishers today. Take care, and like I said, if it ain't hot, it ain't a swish.